We stay in our kingdoms. We stay in our locality. But it's very sad to note that it has gotten to a point that there are subjects in kingdoms, when they cannot pay rent, they come to the royal fathers. Your Majesty, we can no longer pay our rent to do something. But nobody is asking question. How are the royal fathers surviving? Nobody is asking that questions. Early last year, I had the opportunity of being part of a royal father delegation to the National Assembly, where we strongly made case. I am happy Dr. Minimini is here. We strongly made case before the Right Honorable Speaker for the inclusion of responsibility to royal fathers in the Constitution. Not for the purpose of glamour, but for the purpose of having the direct authority that is legalized. There are royal fathers today who have been victims of state because everything about the royal institution is tied to the state. A constitutional provision will, as much as possible, try to detach, try to give you some level of autonomy. Let's take this home. There are issues of security votes. The highest security man in this country today is the traditional ruler. Is the traditional ruler. Of recent, I have issue of security challenge in my kingdom. And my sons and daughters from far and wide, the only person they can call is the king. Your Majesty, what are you doing about this? I am the watch night. I am the watch day. I am the care provider. I am their source of hope. But how I'm able to do that is not the business of many people. So for those who had advocated very strongly for inclusion of royal institution in the Constitution, for those of us who had fought, who had struggled for institution to emerge in the Niger Delta, what result, what reward have we been given? I can recall with all sense of humility how Prince Mike Bobi Okareme, myself, and few others almost ran our life out to ensure that the Federal University of Petroleum Resources is established, for which I lost my 13-month salary. I rebelled against my boss because PTI was to be taken away for Furute to be. And we resisted. For resisting my boss, my 13-month salary, for a whole year and 1 month, I was not paid. Furute is now fledging, living big. What is the reward? With how much I do, if we want to address insecurity in this country, we need to have a place for the royal institution in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. By so doing, call it 0.0. I have a challenge. And this challenge is that I travel too much. And in each of my traveling, each of my trip, if I move with 3 cars to Abuja and spend 1 week, the least that I spend is 2 million. And so my people are asking, where do I get money to spend? When what is paid to me cannot foot my bill for 2 weeks. We have very wealthy people from the Niger Delta. We have wealthy sons and daughters. How much of care have you arranged for your royal institutions? The royal fathers, you won't like to see your royal father dressed shabbily. Kabi? Dressing expensively. He said, popularity is a venture. If you must be popular, you must spend money. So, let's take home from this gathering that one of the major achievements that the patriot will achieve, one of the major achievements, is to see How? They can go back to the days of old. I got the first primary school in my kingdom in 1906. Reason being that the white men could not penetrate the kingdom. So they came, they met the local authority, and they told them they don't believe in them. What do? Let's give them school, and possibly, and see how the school can affect or influence them. So by 1906, we had the first primary school. By 1931, we already produced a headmaster, which was almost the highest of education level in Nigeria at that time. The then headmaster, the late Arabi Uyu, is the father of Professor Arabi Uyu, Professor Adidi Uyu of University of Lagos. With that, they were able to penetrate our kingdom. If they don't recognize the role of the royal fathers, how come they came to them? The most difficult cases in our traditional history today are taken care of at the palace. They are, except the criminal cases. The case of making peace, the case of husband and wife, the case of land. We even have more numbers of cases than some high courts. So the question is, these cases, should we have a stubborn subject who decide to challenge our authority in court? Where do we go? Do we go and hide, or will we still come out? On a final note, as patriotic as this gathering, as reasonable as this gathering, as commendable as this gathering, our take-home should be, we want a new constitution that are people-oriented, that will be people-friendly, that will incorporate the roles and duties of royal institution. If that is done, most of the problems we face today, no royal father, no matter how difficult the situation is, will abandon his kingdom for the sake of insecurity. We have a case in Delta State where the water was ravaging that particular kingdom. And the king was asked, Your Majesty, are you seeing the water? He said, what about my people? If I go, where will my people go? The royal father stayed up to when the water got here. He left with his entire people and abandoned the kingdom. That is the situation. That is our pain. That is how much patriotism that the royal fathers are putting in. But in return, we want the country to put something in. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the Patriot Gathering. I am happy, I am grateful to be part of this, and I always want to be part of it. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Please, you can do better for His Royal Majesty Ove Whiskey, PhD, the Ove of the Great Ijere Kingdom. Let's move now to His Majesty all the way from Mozoro. Your Majesty.
My first voice, due respect. Please permit me to maintain the existing protocol. I greet you, Ijere, for doing justice to the reason why we should be included. They should assign to us constitutional, positions. So I thank you so much. My people, traditional rulers have been shut up because you must follow the political party in your state. Because the power to control, to appoint, to depose, lies in the state government. So today we are confirmed APC people. And if by tomorrow, the youth party gets to power, we are confirmed youth party. So the level of our contribution, of our loyalty, is dependent on the party ruling the state. We came here to talk about the future of Nigeria in constitutional development. And all the members of the panel, they spoke extensively. Obidibi spoke about the bicameral sessions upstairs and advocated for one. But the question is, are we talking about what we spend in operating that system? Or are we talking about the ills of the system? Now, we've been talking about the metamorphosis of different constitutions from Littleton to Richard to Macpherson to the present day, 63 to the present day, 79. But the question is operation, because corruption fights dirty. Corruption fights very, very dirty. What we don't have is checks and balances. Who will call on the Chief Justice of the Federation to correct herself or himself? Who will call on the chairman of INEC to correct himself? Who will call on the chairman of EFCC to correct himself? We sought for different means. We didn't get to say, okay, professors should now act as returning officers. What's the result? That professors should act as what's the result? So please, the 2014 document should be redusted, new introduction, and submitted as the general position. There's no other way to it. We are suffering because if you talk, it's like the spider web. Small insects are caught while the big ones, they just zoom through. Not be so big for the country. Small insects are caught, the big ones, they just zoom through. So we are saying, I'll just be given opportunity to talk. That's why I'm going to this extent. Because I have to say something. We are saying that if the 2014 document is dusted, then we know we have a true position. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for His Royal Majesty Barrister Ovie Tobore Anthony Ogbobo JP, the Ovie of Uzoro Kingdom. Your Majesty, sir.
Well, yeah, the great journalist, Ijere Kingdom, of course, my very revered real fathers here with me, those at the upstairs. I wouldn't want to stand on the protocols already established because I have seen so many of you standing on it. And perhaps my weight might collapse it, so I will just observe it without standing on the protocols. Well, first I want to thank the eminent patriots for this great initiative. I've always been a follower of the group led by late F.R.A. Williams and Professor Ben Nwambweze. When they came up with that name, the Patriots. And I see that with their intervention, we have great hopes for this country. But today, they are gone. But the seed planted are germinated, and that is why we are here today. And until justice is being done in this country, they will also not have peace in wherever they are today. The Ovie of Ijere Kingdom has dwelt extensively on the inclusion of royal fathers in the Constitution of Nigeria. But let me cast our minds back that the first time we knew about the exclusion of royal fathers' role in the Constitution was on the day of the swearing in that May 29th, 1999, was the day the late Asakwa Wasaba, as soon as we left the swearing venue, summoned each and everyone to his palace and disclosed to us that our role has been removed because the military kept that document to our chest, and so no one had the privilege of seeing it until the day, that 1999, when it was unveiled. But because of the fact that he has many of his subjects and brothers in the villa, he was able to know that our role has been removed. And that was the first session we held in Asakwa's palace. Then the 5% was operational under Abacha. But because we had no role in the Constitution, Obasanjo said that 5% should be stopped because we had no constitutional role. And that was how the 5% was abolished by the Obasanjo administration. Then fast forward again, in 2013, because of this 2014 confab, and that is why I want to draw our minds back, because if Jonathan had acted the day we advised him, and if he had actually set up that body, perhaps he would have been able to implement it before the elections. Precisely on the 13th of September 2013, if you go to the original of Furute Palace, that group photograph is there. I also have that group photograph we took with Mr. President in my palace as well too. That was on the 13th day of September 2013. Led by His Majesty Dr. Edmond Dakoru, who is the chairman of the South-South Monarchs Forum. We visited Mr. Jonathan as president and did mention to him the need, because of the gathering against him, the need to set up a national conference where these various issues will be addressed. But perhaps it was of the view that the elections were going to be in his favor, and so that advice was wished away. So it was when, in 2014, when the cloud was gathering and when it became clear to him that the election was going to be dicey, 50-50, that was when he set up that 2014 Constitutional Conference. But like I said, if he had carried out exercise at the time we discussed with him, perhaps he would have been able to implement it. And so, for me, that 2014 Constitutional Conference of great minds, most of them are passed on. But if that document can be retrieved from the archives and implemented, of course, the problems we have in this country will be put behind us. What we have here happening here today is the lack of political will to implement most of these things. And that is why, because corruption thrives, all the various sectors of the Nigerian Constitution has been eroded, has been visited by corruption. The checks and balances that we were taught in Form 3, the separation of power. Today, the executive arm of government has emasculated both the judiciary and, of course, the legislative arms. So you can see where a president is being represented by the Senate president, which is an aberration. The president of the Senate is one arm of government, which is the legislature. And if Mr. President wants a representative in any function, the Senate president or a senator has no business representing Mr. President. I saw Akpabio representing the president at Ogun State. For me, that is an anomaly. The president ought to have the minister for sports to represent him. You see where the FCT minister would be leading with the judiciary, going to commission projects, trying to compromise the judiciary. Of course, those things are not nice. And because of the way and manner we do, stronger persons and weaker institutions is what has brought us to this level, where you see politicians practicing Mephistophelian politics, and that is not good enough. So please, this is a great gathering, and I want to believe that the reason why lawmakers will be elected under one platform and willfully, gleefully just run to the other platform. When Akpabio was in opposition, they went and called press conferences why these people should lead their seat. But today, the same man is embracing those who are coming over him. And that is not the way to run a country. You don't run a country in this way and expect foreign direct investors. Of course, no. So I want to thank the initiators of this program and believe that it will form the fulcrum when the House of Representatives was trying to come up with a bill to force people to go and vote. No, you don't force. When we believe in the system, we will do so. You have registered over 90 million Nigerians, but on election dates, you have only 20 million persons. But if we believe in the system, we will vote up to 70, 80 million persons will vote. So the system has to be put right, then who will come voluntarily. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. His Royal Majesty, Bere Kalamanu, 8th of Akugben Main Kingdom, first Vice Chairman, Delta State Traditional Rulers Council. Your Majesty, we appreciate you. Next to make his comment is His Royal Majesty Clement Ikolo Urukpe, the first King of Ewu Urobo Kingdom. Your Majesty.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My able and distinguished first Vice of the Delta State Traditional Council, my royal colleagues here seated, the convener of this summit, moderator, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. Just to add to what my colleagues have said and the panelists, I am deeply worried. I know we are talking about a new constitution. Some have proffered a new constitution. Some have said that we should review the old constitution. I worry about the truth. If we stand by the truth, if we are people of integrity, then what we all clamor for here will come to reality without fear or favor. Winston Churchill once said that the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. The judiciary, I want to talk about the judiciary, is an important arm of government. The judiciary is the hope on man. But in the Nigerian situation, we have seen that the judiciary is completely and totally far from the common man. No wonder every government that comes, first of all, the mindset of those coming to power, they all have the same mindset. The mindset is to capitalize on the weaknesses of the current constitution, the loopholes that they have in there. Because it is not representative of the people. It is not a document of the people. So they come to capitalize on it, on how they will use the resources of the people to their benefit and not the benefits of the people. So, they look at the instruments that they will use for this manipulation. And that is why today, the Chief Justice of the Federation is by appointment. And that is why even the INEC that we're talking about. So I worry about the judiciary. If the judiciary can actually, as we have been talking here, stand by the people, have a voice for the people. Even in the drafting of the Constitution, the technicalities borders on the judiciary. So whatever it is that we discuss here today, we have learned and scholarly lawyers here. If they can take this further and stand for the people, we will rally around behind them. Because they know that they are trained to do that. So I will admonish our lawyers here. The concern of the common man should be addressed. And it is the judiciary that will work on that, irrespective of the fact that we are talking about a new constitution. Let us purge our hearts and minds and let truth and integrity guide us. Integrity is very important. Let it guide us. And let us build a legacy that our children will follow. A place that our children will be happy to come to. They will be proud of. On that note, in order not to spend too much time, I would say thank you for the wonderful opportunity given to me.
Thank you very much, Your Majesty. Quickly, Oba Rufus, a law lecturer, to please, briefly, 5 minutes, Your Majesty, please.
Thank you very much. Your Royal Majesties, the learned personnel here, and the professors, may God bless you all. I will speak majorly on the fundamental character of the Nigerian nation itself and the fundamental character of Nigeria's citizenry. You see, when we are talking of Nigeria as a state, look at this place where we are now. It's very comfortable. Some of us have been sitting down here for the past 2-3 hours, 4 hours, and we are not ready to even leave now. But if you have a house that is not comfortable, that is faulty, what do you do to the house? Just evacuate it totally and build a new one. Nigerian constitution is faulty from the beginning to the end. We need a new constitution. And how do we get a new constitution? Everything that is inside the old constitution, everything must be thrown away, overboard. The new constitution that we have should have provision on education, on health, on housing, on motor car, on everything. Please, get me right. What we should do is, number one, there should be free education for all. From primary school to the university level. Everybody, every Nigerian child should be educated. And please, I don't want to sound clannish. We don't need any further document. If we are insisting on 2014 document of President Jonathan, we may have some problem. Because I know the president that we have now does not believe in that document because he didn't participate in it. He even told his people not to send representatives to that conference. So please, what we should do, my learned Akwamudega Oje, I know you know this thing very well. Awo was a very, very, very great thinker. He wrote 2 books, Path to Freedom, and another book called Republic. He has analyzed everything that will happen to Nigeria in the next 100 years, even after him, in those books. If you look at his manifesto in 1959, when he set up a political party called Action Group, it was only Action Group that had anything to do have any program on the Niger Delta. When in 1979 he came with UPN, it was only UPN that had any program on Niger Delta. And when you look at AD that came in 1998, it was only AD that has specific manifesto and program on what should be done for Niger Delta. We are in Niger Delta. We know that what we need here is different from what they need in the north. So what we should do, please, if it is possible, the conference that is coming up in Abuja, we should be one united front. Nobody should walk out. Nobody should talk with loud voice. We know the people that we are dealing with. They have population. They have the number. We don't have the number. So what you will use in winning over them is lobbying, by being gentle. We don't play into their hand. We will not run away. No walking out of the conference. Then we make our point in such a gentle manner, intellectually, no violence, in such a way that whether they like it or not, when we network with them, when we plead with them, when we tell them what we want, they will be able to do what we want for us. We are not going there for the general project of Nigeria. What we are going there for is the specific project of the Niger Delta. How Niger Delta will be so good and better. Nobody in Niger Delta is supposed to suffer anything. I'm very sorry to say it. I don't want to say it out before. I am not from here, but my mother is from here. My children, they are here. All my life, I've lived here. All my life. From primary school to even when I went to university, even to youth service. And I've been working here all my life before they even call me to come and become traditional ruler in my place. It is because of the knowledge that I'm able to gather from here and coupled with the one that I have at home that I'm using to rule my people. And I can tell you that Niger Delta people, Delta State people, they are the greatest people I've ever seen. In terms of anything you want to see, in terms of intelligence, please, Ijaw should not fight Ishekiri, if Ishekiri should not fight Yoruba. All of us should be one in such a way that when we go out, we present a united front. A united front. People are talking of land, are talking of this, are talking of that. We have gone beyond that. The system in which we are now, even the northerners, if I tell you that themselves, if you ask them, do you have any problem, they will tell you. The easterners, they have their problem. The southwesterners, they have their problem. And the problems are not the same. They are not unified. So what I'm trying to say is that we need a new constitution. And finally, I will say that the way to go about it, luckily, Dr. Akwamudagaoje is an expert in constitutional matter. People are talking that the constitution that we have now, if we throw it away, how do we get a new one? There will be vacuum. No, there will not be vacuum. There's what we call addendum in every constitution. There's a provision for savings. Savings will come in. We draft savings. Then we bring in the addendum. The moment, within 3 minutes, when we remove the addendum and the savings is already operational, the new constitution will come in. And that is how we are going to solve that problem of the vacuum that's supposed to be created. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put hands together for Oba Rufus, a constitutional law lecturer, Delta State University. We appreciate you. Please, Your Majesties, they will be having a short break. They will join us. Let's put hands together for them, please. Thank you, Your Majesties. Thank you.
Well, our Majesties are taking a retreat for a while we are going on with this process. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the interactive session.
Look.
This is where you are to tell us your mind, and this is where you are to ask for clarifications, and this is where you are to make your contribution. The reason why you are here today is now, and you have to make your impact. I see our ladies are here. Please, let's give them a round of applause. There's consciousness. This is what we want. So you indicate and you tell us your name and any tendency you represent, and also If it's a question, you could kindly direct the question to any of the panelists sitting up here with us to throw light on it. This is how we want to go now. The microphone is with our Yes, the microphone is sitting in the hand of our elder. We have been admiring him here, myself and Obiumi, as we pray God that will tap from his lineage of divinity. You are astounding, sir. It's a gift from God.
Thank you.
You may yield the floor, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me thank the panelists and the King Chris for this wonderful occasion. Before I start, I want to stand up and apologize to Nigerians because people of my age allowed this country to be bastardized. We stood by and allowed these miscreants that I call harlots of Jericho to destroy this nation. I was at the stadium on the 1st of October, 1960, Saturday, to watch the green, white, green go up and the Union Jack come down. We had great hopes. We had high hopes of a just and nice society. Progressively, we watched our country decay, and I'm ashamed. That day at the Tafawa Balewa Stadium, I went there with 5 other friends. We were 6, all students. The school, we were boarding students, but schools were closed, and we were allowed to go. Of the 6 of us, I'm the only one alive. So what do I tell John, Sonny, Kehinde, and the rest of them when I go there? That Nigeria is a better place? It's not. A lot has been said about the Constitution. I'm not going to dwell on it. We have a Constitution, whether it works or not. We look at the operators of this Constitution. We watch how, somebody mentioned it now, I think it was the Oba here, there is no division between the legislature and the executive. We have charlatans in government. It behooves us to make the right choices during the next election. If your brother is contesting and you feel he's not going to do a good job, please don't vote for him. We want credible people, irrespective of political affiliations. We want people who will defend our mandate, who will defend our interests. So I want to appeal for us to eschew political differences for now, because we don't have political ideologies anymore. If the governor of Delta State, my state, Sheriff, can get up and join APC and say we must all join APC, then we're all finished. We must have the character of place. The eminent jurist there, he spoke eminently, and I appreciate all that you said. We are all cowards. That is our problem. We are afraid to die. Somebody sent me a message that somebody told them to kill me because I was doing something nasty to them. I was 76 then. I said, kill me, what did I do? I said, do you have my address? He said, yes, I know your address. I said, if you don't have it, let me give it to you. But please, when you kill me, eat my meat. Because, I mean, why should I be afraid to die? I don't do anything nefarious. So please, I'm on my knees. While I'm alive, my chairman, Chief Emeka Anyoko, and my brother here, when we were at Patriots meeting, I begged them, let's not give up. Chief Emeka Anyoko is 92. He hasn't given up. I am 80. I won't give up. Please, let's pray for Nigeria and hope that Nigeria gets better. Thank you and God bless.
Wow, can we give him more round of applause, please?
Thank you.
It has to be electric. You can see the Queen's English. You can see the presentation. This is just more than a man. This is a spiritual being. Can we give him a resounding round of applause? We are very grateful, sir.
All right.
And we're inspired by your admonition not to give up. And God continue to give you long life and our chairman to continue in this good work.
Leonard Senior, sir, we want to take from Robo College and Dossi College, after which we'll take from the church.
Yes,
BFM.
please, go ahead. You can handle.
Our early esteem.
Can we give him a round of applause? He's a student. We must cheer him up. This is the future. This is the reason why we are here.
Our early esteem referred us, extinguished speakers, distinguished speakers, my fathers and mothers, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on existing protocols. My name is Eunide Aruesogene. I'm a graduate of Furute College Model School. Okay. My question goes to our mommy, Barrister Dr. Olivia Agbajo. Okay, she advocated that for parliamentary system of government. What is the assurance that the parliamentary system of government will be better than the current presidential system of government? And then secondly, how can we address corruption? Why, as we are thinking of a good constitution, knowing fully well that those in authority are deeply involved in corruption? That's my question.
I think the first one was directed at our mother. Hello? Are we collating? Edeni, you are collating. The first one is to our mother. Why does she believe that the parliamentary form of government will be less expensive than a presidential one? And the second one, which I will send to our professor, VC, is that how do we think we can eradicate corruption when those at the helm of the affairs are deeply rooted in corruption? I think that's what he asked. Thank you very much. So we'll go for the next person. Edeni, please write all questions. Are you there? Okay.
Yes.
The next person, please.
PFN.
Okay. I think one of the students is still
All right.
still waiting.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Olili Ediri, and before going straight to my question, I will first of all like to thank the organizers and chief host of this event, His Excellency Chief Emeka Ayanku, and every member of the eminent period. Patriot. So before going straight to my question, I would love to also say we have learned and enjoyed a lot of things today. And my question goes directly to Dr. Eminent. Dr. Mini.
Dr. Ominimini, yes.
So my question is, according to you, you were saying that there should be a removal of the third tier of government, which is the local government. And if the third tier of government, which is the local government, is removed, how can the voice of the common men or the request of the common men are heard or being attended to? Since the local government is the grassroots level of government and it's the reach of the common men. And how can the remaining two tiers of government be able to perform the activities of the last local government, which is the last tier of government? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. PFN, please.
That word is tears. Young boy, it's tears of government, okay? All right.
Oh, thank you so much, Bishop Abbas Willie, Chairman PFN Delta State. I'm particularly grateful that we are invited to this. When we got invitation, I have to make consultation by contacting our leaders across the 3 Central District. Talking about the pre-national summit holding here is one of the best I've attended in recent time. I want to appreciate the organizers. Many thanks to my Lord, Honorable Justice Akpovi. You acknowledge us because you are one of us. I appreciate you for that. I want to also appreciate the constitutional lawyer. But we've not seen you for a long time now because at the time you were always at the forefront speaking to us on television and social media. Glad to meet you again here, and you're coming out, your swag is second to none. I was just admiring your shoes. How many of you admire his shoes? You're always top notch when it comes to this. What the traditional rulers said, I think we suffer the same fate. The religious leaders, we suffer the same fate in Nigeria. So if the constitution will be looked into, I think we need to have a brand new constitution. The one we have now is not favorable to the church. It's not favorable at all. It's not favorable to the people of Nigeria, not only the church. Recently, a lady got converted from Islam to Christian. And then she was sued to the Sharia court. What we are wondering is that in this country, do we have two constitutions? We are told, and that is what is authentic, that the Nigerian constitution is supreme compared to any other constitution. The PFN have their own constitution. How come that the Sharia trying to stand pari passu with the Nigerian constitution? So this lady who converted from Islam to Christianity was sued to Sharia court. And the last time we heard of it, they want to execute her. What about the Nigerian constitution, which gave rights of freedom of worship? So with this, we are saying that the constitution should be put aside and let there be a new constitution. We want to mention that. And then we also have issues here that when somebody wants to contest election, maybe you want to be a governor, perhaps you want to even be a member of House of Rep or a senator, you have to consult somebody at the north, and you are from the south, you are from Niger Delta. We don't really see the rationale behind it. We have sold ourselves, we are like slaves. And that is why we are having some of the things they mentioned. Our justice mentioned that he wanted to ask the former president some questions. We are suffering a syndrome right now of sad memory of lost opportunities. Things we would have done in the past, we couldn't do them. And I hope those who are clamoring for position, wants to be governor, wants to be House of Rep, wants to be senator, please, when you go there, don't delay. Take action. What you need to do now, do it now. As concerning the Constitution, we need to go there and we speak boldly. We should not be selfish about it. We should speak for the people, let them amend. And I want to also commend the idea of consultation. Some of the mistakes we notice as a church, some of our people don't consult. They will go there and just do their bidding without coming back home to report. You recommended that the traditional rulers should be able to call our leaders in politics to question. Because they go there solo, we didn't send them there. Many times they don't listen to us. So we really advocate that people will be sent to their place of leadership, should consult properly before they go there. Or else we begin to suffer this syndrome of them not respecting leaders, not respecting traditional rulers, not respecting pastors. And we have sold out. And I believe that through this forum, God will help us and our people will do the needful. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Please, who is Imoto Mirabel? A hero, celebrity housewife, please. Honorable Ashibu, get ready. After which we'll take from audience further, please, as you raise your hands. Thank you.
Thank you. Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by appreciating the eminent patriots for organizing this summit and also for having the opportunity to stand among great Nigerians. A lot have been said about constitutional reforms. So I want to raise the issue of electoral reform. Electoral reform will take care of the injustice we suffer in our country today. Electoral reform will take care of the challenges of insecurity, amongst many other problems and challenge we battle in our dear nation. The points to focus on the issue of electoral reforms includes: 1, I want every Nigerian and everybody here, seated here, that has the power and the voice to help us push this ahead. The elections that brings the presidents, the National Assembly members, the governors, and state assembly members should be held on the same dates and not on different dates. 2, electronic transmission of votes from each polling unit across the nation through the BVAS to the IREV immediately after voting should be made compulsory. 3, the recent suggested idea of voting without PVCs should not be accommodated in our electoral law. The responsibility of choosing or appointing INEC chairman should be on a neutral body and not solely be done by the president. These and others are some of the pressing issues that has to do with electoral reforms that I want to be pushed ahead. Thank you.
Let's appreciate that, please. All right, Honorable Ashibu, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Well, I just wanted to chip in one or two things with what Mommy said while she was giving her speech, talking about women inclusiveness. The Bible says we are helpmates. We are not there to come and rub shoulders with the men. Over the years, politically, women have not been given a soft landing politically. Even talking about the 35% of our nation, we are not. As a young female legislator, I know what it is and what we as young women in politics have gone through just for us to contribute our own quota to the development in our society. Over the years, as a young councillor, I know issues that were brought up. Even at a time, somebody said, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in the kitchen, cooking for your husband or something." So going to school as a young lady, getting a degree, trying to contribute what I have learned to develop my local government, to develop my state, is not a crime. So when we have a constitution where we can say, give some percentage to women, you understand? And over the years, most times, they will say, oh, we've given a fair hearing to women because we are giving them free form. They don't pay for their form and all that. No. Somebody said something to me. I said, there's nothing you want to tell me as a young lady in politics, because the next thing they'll tell you, every woman in politics is a prostitute. And you shade women with such kind of insults. As a young lady in politics, I have developed a thick skin. When we sit on a round table and we deliberate on issues, trying to bring laws and trying to bring bylaws into the local government that can develop the local government. So with all this, a lot of young ladies out there are scared because I don't want to go into politics, or I don't want them to call me that. I don't want them to say I'm a prostitute, or I don't want them to do this. But if you have a right constitution backing you up as a lady, you have the right to speak up. So I think we can have a constitution where the constitution can actually support the women in politics and give us a fair landing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, all. Please permit me to stand on existing protocol. I hope it doesn't break, though. My name is Voke Igoroje. I'm the founding executive director of Right Education, Empowerment and Development Center for Social Change. I am also the former national secretary of the Citizens Forum for Constitutional Reform and also a member of PRONACO. I'm sure you know PRONACO. A lot have been said, and I do not intend to repeat all that have been said, but I just want to make some contribution to all that have been said, I ask myself these questions. Have we been on this road before? I think so. And what were the outcome? The outcome is that, one, we need to be properly organized. We need to organize ourselves, because you can make beautiful speeches, you can make beautiful suggestions, but if you don't know how to go round it, put it in the right place, it will end up in shelves. So please, I want us to organize ourselves, probably set up. I know that the Patriots have a very strategic think tank, and they can do that. But let us do it as Delta and as South-South, so that we can have a focus in terms of what we want to achieve. Number two, we must agree amongst ourselves, what are we calling for? Are we calling for a brand new People's Constitution, or are we amending this so-called fraudulent constitution? Because I have seen that diverse opinions have been held, and I think it's important that in our resolution, we should state exactly what we want. Then finally, and which is the most important, this is a new area that I think must be included in resolution that will come from this summit. We must include that revenues accruing from marine economy, particularly in the areas of mangroves and seagrass and blue carbon sequestration, and carbon credits. Delta State already has a Delta Carbon Mosaic project, a 30-year project, which is built to create a lot of revenue for the state. But presently, we are stalled because the National Council on Climate Change has refused to release the framework.
Thank you.
Okay, is that for me?
Yes, please.
All right, okay, so quickly, please, I want this to be stated clearly that issues of mangrove, issues of seagrass, and issues of carbon sequestration and carbon credit should take preeminence as a region that is known for water, ocean, and marine ecology. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So please, needless to be, don't bother for acknowledgement and appreciation. Just go to your time, please. And 2 minutes now, 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Engineer Spencer Etibe. I'm the Manager Director, RS Engineering Global Limited. I'm also the Coordinator, Peter Obi Movement, Ughelli North, Local Government Council. I want to first direct the first question to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Agbalagba. I want to quickly just find out on this. You know, I believe that there is a kind of a conspiratorial issue in our system today between the political appointees and the civil servants. Now, in such a way that when a political figure is appointed, before you know it, they are dragged into the system by way of tutoring on how to steal. So I want to find out, how do we handle that issue? And that is one. Then the other one is that there's one question I actually have for the traditional ruler. Probably I will ask it when they come, they can answer it. And before that, I want to say, we'll be speaking on, we'll be able to be advocating for reforms, either electoral reforms or constitutional reform. All these are okay. But who are those that will reform them? Don't you think fair there should be a system where the reformer should be reformed, those that will reform order? Because as far as I'm concerned, the House of Assembly that we use, they are all in the same line. So how do we get people that actually work in the right manner that we do this reformation? That's what I will say. Then the last one we go to Shifo Minimini. I heard during your speech, and you mentioned the Fulanings, that they are in our forests. And you made a statement that they were pursued from the north into this place. Do you really think that they were pursued, or is it a strategic plan for them to take over this region? I want to look at that very well. Are you sure they were pursued from other nations into this south-south this way? to just take over our forest, or it's a strategic plan by those in authority to take over our region this way. And the last one, we go to for traditional rulers. Because on several videos and accusations, these Fulani herdsmen, they have come out to say that the traditional rulers are aware of what they are doing, that before they enter our forests, they are being given warnings. And these videos are not hiding. So, and they are hearing this. I have not seen any single traditional ruler that has come out to refute this. I will want them to actually answer this question today if they return from the arrest. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, from National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Comrade OV, SL Ghana Israel, Director of Action and Mobilization, NANS, South Nigeria. Please be brief, please.
Everybody.
Collins, you have to get ready.
My name is Senator Murad David. I'm the General Secretary of We Kingdom. I don't know who answer my question, but one of the things we want to ask, we have all agreed that we will need a new constitution. But one of the excuses legislators and others who do not believe we need a new constitution is that what modalities are we going to employ to take out the old constitution and bring in the new constitution? They have been shying away from it, amending the old constitution. So what are the modalities we are going to use to bring in this new constitution that we have agreed? And second question is that, not question, is a suggestion though. When I was serving in KB State, I saw a bunch of children holding plates some years ago. These children, without love, without education, without nothing, without parental care. Now these children, they've grown to become bandits. There is still this pool of children without love, without food, without care, still there up north. Year in, year out, we are dishing out children without education. If we are going to have a new constitution, we should make it criminal for governors and local government chairmen not to educate these children. It should be criminal to have children roaming around the streets without education. And finally, inclusion. Talking about inclusion and accountability, we are over 200 million. We have registered the voters of 93 million. In the last election, we have just 23 million people. You cannot have a situation where you don't vote and you want to be accountable. You want people to be accountable to you. It is said that he who pays the piper takes the tune. The only way we can get our leaders to be accounted to us if we have our people come out to vote. The Gen Zs will never come out to vote. So it is my suggestion that we should adopt full technology where we can vote anywhere. Gen Z will not come out on the queue on election day to come and vote. Many people will not come out. So to get people to be included in governance, we should make things easy.
Thank you. Thank you. Nance Rep, please. Nance Rep.
Sorry, I'm very brief. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sorry to interject. We want to make it a little bit snappy. The VCs here, many people, they are from their offices. So please, we want the questions to be short at this moment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Your Royal Majesty, His Excellencies, the panelists, and my able VC, I'm a student of Federal University of Petroleum Resources, FRU, and greatest Nigeria students, greatest Boza, greatest Kiki. Thank you very much. It's a normal tradition that as a member of Nigeria student, I should echo our alarm before I continue what I'm saying. So, standing on all existing protocol, I would like to ask, how does this constitutional reform affect Nigeria students? Because we are not unaware that there are many things that Nigeria students are suffering in the country today. There are many things that, let's just say that education is not being encouraged. Currently, there are insecurities issued. I think there was a professor from DELSU in this all before now, and he can attest to the fact that currently they are protesting in DELSU because of insecurity issue, where many parents now are scared to send their children to school. I don't know what we can do, and I must appreciate the Patriot advocacy for bringing this kind of summit to the grassroots area. because if you are looking at it from this angle, education is not being encouraged. There are many people that have graduated with good results. They are not getting jobs. It's just like you must get connections for you to get jobs in Nigeria. That's why I must commend you guys, and I must ask you, what can you do for Nigerian students? Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, Mr. Collins, 2 minutes, please.
Okay, my name is Ukwedo Collins. Just to save time, all protocols observed. Okay, my kind of contribution is, one, we should look at the area of corruption. Corruption is a foundational problem, and this needs to be strictly addressed before whatever system in place can work. Politicians can't steal without the support of the civil servants, so we need to deal with ourselves. Number two, not just reviewing the Constitution, but to review our ways of doing things, and total review of the police and the judiciary. We should take note of that. Thirdly, our traditional rulers and religious bodies have a lot to do, because presently we celebrate ill-gotten wealth in the society, and the upcoming children see it now as a standard of living.
Thank you.
Then number four, talking about state policing. These politicians will hijack the state police. As such, we should allow the system to operate in the federal, deploy the police to their locality of origin. That still implies like a state policing. Because the federal controls the system, while you deploy the policemen to their locality of origin. Automatically, that is state policing. Then number five, why we deploy the police to their locality. Appointment of INEC/CJN should be independent from the sitting president. Thank you very much.
Please, let's try not to repeat questions. If you have any question that somebody has dealt with, don't bother to ask that question again or opinion. Please, your 2 minutes.
Good day, everyone. Yes. Please, I want to say something. If we gather for a place like this, no white man dey here. When he be say, if you not talk broken English, the white man not go here. Broken English is our language. So if we gather for here like this, make we speak broken. Make we not go to bite our tongue because of English. Now, my name now Ajusa Michael. The question when I get be say, when we go get our own John F. Kennedy for Nigeria? When we go fit get the person when go say yes. This thing when we dey talk, we want to write constitution, we want to break this, we want to amend this. Who be the person when go come out to say yes? Now me be the John F. Kennedy when stand this thing. This constitution when we dey talk so now borrowed culture. We not want them again. Not to talk of amending it.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. We're closing down now on this. And please give yourselves a round of applause, please. Yes, thank you very much for the participation, and thank you for the audience. Barrister Oki, please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. As we are talking, we have a think tank committee. What's going on? Collating views and also working on the background for our communique, which will be issued in due course. Indeed, by the grace of God, I'm the chairman of the think tank committee. I have Chief Nyanuwo Gray, who is the secretary in absentia. We have Gabriel Igbu Esquire. Please stand up for recognition. Gabriel Igbu. Thank you for doing a good job. We have David Edeni is here. And indeed, our V.E. Okeredi Esquire is here. And I forgot to introduce the rapporteur for today's occasion, who has been speaking elegantly so well. He's Barrister Oki. He's also a lawyer. And all these gentlemen, one way or the other, met me in the journey of life. Igbu, as a lawyer and worked in my office as a law student, and we picked it up from there. So they are working on the background in the communique. We will now start to answer the questions as it were. So I will start from Ominimini to answer the question directed to him before I pass it over. Yes.
Thank you very much. Number one, the student asked me, why did I advocate for the removal of the local government to delete them from the Constitution? Because according to him, local government is the government that is closest to the people, to the grassroots. My son, that is an intelligent question. Thank you for asking that. What I have said is very clear. I said the local government should be delisted from the Constitution because they were arbitrarily created, and it becomes a source of huge revenue to a section of the country as against the other section. But that the creation of local government should be left for the various states to create their local government and set up the administration for them. Yes, exactly. So, and fund it. The state should fund their local government. The state should create their local government. If Lagos wants to create 40 local government, or they call it local government, or they call it development unit, you know, that is their name. So it will not be eliminated, but that it should be a creation of the state, and they should also be funded by the state. Then, the second question, the man used his own language. He said the Fulanis were pursued from their place, you know, and that is it actually they were pursued or they have an agenda? Your terminology of pursued and your terminology of Fulani didn't come from me. I didn't use the word Fulani, and I didn't use the word pursued. If you could remember, I told you that those of us who are development experts, having studied development studies from University of Nigeria at master's level, in one of my master's degree, we believed, which I said here, that a crisis anywhere is crisis everywhere. And I told you that the crisis we have in the northern Nigeria with respect to Boko Haram and ISWAP, which is associated to the extraction of the solid mineral, because it is the extraction of the solid mineral in northern Nigeria that has brought those Boko Haram crisis and the rest. People use that to condone certain area while they are extracting the mineral. People cannot no longer get there. And that crisis has pushed some of the dissidents to southern Nigeria, and they create cells in our various forests to kidnap people. Because crisis anywhere is crisis everywhere. If you believe that because you fence your compound and that there is a crime going close to your area, that you won't report it to the police, whether your compound is fenced or not, that crisis will soon affect you. So, but your question, whether as to they have an agenda, the agenda is also part of it, because some people believed that the entire country is estate of their father. That is a different ballgame, and that they will not rest until they dip the Quran into the river, into the sea or the Atlantic Ocean. So people still have that notion. That is why today people have the temerity to come to your area and commit crime against you, because they've been told that the entire Nigeria is a state of your father. So that is a different agenda. That is part of it. But you have to blame your governors, because what is the essence of governance? Your governors are elected to protect life and property. If some of you are governor today, you know what to do to stop the menace of kidnapping in your area. If you know what some governors collect in the name of security vote, in fact, you will not sleep. Some governors collect over 4 billion every 4 weeks, which is a month, in the name of security vote. What do? Nothing. If governors collaborate with traditional rulers to ensure that insecurity is eliminated from the area, they will do it. When I started my speech, I said here, when I remember the name of Akila, I said in Urobo, Akila is called Ogbu. And what is Ogbu in our traditional area? These were people that were empowered, recognized by traditional ruler in the society to curb insecurity against the community. When I was growing up, we have the Igbus, we have the Inotus in my community, in Orogu and Agbara. And once there is any stranger found in the bush, they enter the bush and they escort them home to where they come from. I hope you understand that language. So today, what has changed? You have strangers who come, live in your community, and kidnap you, and you begin to cry in social media. You think social media will help you? I'm not telling you to go for self-help, but I'm telling you that defense is part of the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Self-defense, you must defend yourself. Thank you, and God bless you. And on this note, permit me to say that the statement of proclamation for existence of state or national assembly by the executive is against the principle and separation of power. Because today in Nigeria, it is the governors who now come to make statement of proclamation before state assembly can commence. That is against those who brought about democracy. That is why you see in some states, the governor can even do it 4 a.m. He can inform some and not inform some in order to produce the leadership of the state. It happened in Edo, and the crisis was there. So the executive shouldn't be the one to make statement of proclamation. As you have May 29 for swearing in for executive, there should also be a date set aside for the commencement of the parliament. I think on this note, I want to end my statement by saying that the federal character is working against the southern Nigeria. The federal character is working against southern Nigeria. When it comes to certain area, they will say, oh, we need federal character. But go and look at the institutions. Go and look at certain area that is being run by some persons in this country. It is occupied by people from one region. And that is also talking about the quota system, which is used mainly in the educational area, which Milord has talked about here. Look at the number of permanent secretaries in this country. It is domiciled in one area. Look at people who cannot pass interview in the private sector. But today, go to NNPCL and the subsidiary of NNPCL. It is domiciled by one section of the country. And these are people who do not bear the brunt of the oil production. Those who bear the brunt of the oil production, they do not constitute the board of NNPCL. They do not constitute the board of NGC. They do not constitute the board of NUPROC or midstream and downstream. This is bad. It is bad and it is condemnable. That is why I support that the gas flare penalty should be paid to the communities and not to federal government. All the IOCs, they have paid billions, over trillions of naira to the federal coffers, to CBN. And federal government has borrowed this money, to pay salary. Meanwhile, the people who bear the brunt of the gas flare penalty, it is not used for them. We need constitutional amendment in this area. Thank you, and God bless you.
Another resounding applause for this encyclopedia of knowledge, from security to oil and gas. In fact, we have an array of personalities and stars today. I'm very happy. From one star to another star. It's all stardom. To our esteemed chair, VC, researcher, inventor, and a brain behind our university. He wants to respond to questions put for him or any closing remarks he might think fit to make.
Okay, thank you so much,
yes, bro.
moderator. I have 3 questions from the audience. The first one, why are we still continuing advocating for constitutional review? Why corruption prevails? Well, we cannot make illegality legal. The Constitution, from all indication and from all the speech we have had today, is illegal in its own way because it was not a constitution that we, Nigerians, made for ourselves. Therefore, it is illegal. And it is the illegality of that constitution that is perverting every area of Nigeria's sphere. Corruption in the constitution is the corruption we see in the system. If we have stringent laws that governs or strengthen all the institutions that checkmate corruption, corruption will not be a problem in our country. Therefore, we continue to advocate for restructuring, constitutional review, or total constitution, as we have said here. That is the only way to go. The second question from Engineer Spencer, asking why political appointees steals when they get to government. I think that is the question. Yes, as you rightly said, most of the permanent secretary directors who are working on that political appointee will first of all tell you how to steal. It's true. The first, when you resume, they will tell you all the loopholes you can exploit to make money. But one thing that we must know is integrity. The man in Salary and Income and Wages Commission today, Ital, I can't remember the full name, is one person I respect so much because of integrity. The man will not take 10 naira from you if you will say it's a gift because he's there to do a job. He was in ICPC. They saw him to be too straightforward. He was removed to Salary and Income and Wages Commission. You see, I'm trained by ASU. ASU is trained in Russia. I don't believe in accumulation of wealth. By the grace of God, I'm the Vice Chancellor today. I can call myself an appointee because I was appointed as the Vice Chancellor. But I want to crave your indulgence that after 5 years, come back and look at who I am. I picked up my form. I was en route Abuja. I went to Code of Conduct Bureau on Thursday. I think my driver is here, can testify. On Wednesday, to pick a declaration form so that I can declare my asset as I assume office. And I hope by 2030, God saving our life, I will also declare when I'm leaving the office. So please, integrity matters. And if you don't have the propensity to steal, no matter how corrupt the system, you can still come out clean. The last question is how does the constitution reform affect Nigerian students? I think you should not ask that question because if you are a student of history and a follower of ASU, government give you loan instead of scholarship. Is that not true? Where is the young man from my school? Yes, you people are signing some dead warrant. I must tell you, because you will pay that money. You don't know the interest that will accrue tomorrow. I came out from ASU as an ASU chairman, and I can speak for free in that respect. It's like you are taking a loan. You are happy the day you take the loan. But when you want to pay back, that's when you know that you are in a trap. Every day, students are taking loan. If there is a constitutional reform or a new constitution, you can be giving scholarship. Most of our elders here who are in the 70s and 60s, most of them enjoy scholarship, not just within Nigeria. Some of them were sent abroad, like our Honorable Justice that is here. The father went abroad. I think he was the first Urobo to be a master in law. The father is on scholarship, and so many of them here. OJ can tell us, Odebala can tell us, yes, first PhD in law. All these people enjoy scholarship, not loan. So if there is a constitutional reform, somebody said it's free education, one of our royal father, from primary to the university, not you paying. So that is how the reform can affect you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Please, let's give him a round of applause. He's actually our teacher. He has made a very strong point, 2 strong points, that no matter how endemic corruption is in a particular place, if you don't have the proclivity and propensity for it, you will still come out clean. We still have people in Nigeria that could rise up and stand up today with integrity. And the most important point, again, is talking about education. Loan system is not the system or the way to go. Like His Royal Majesty has said, we see no reason why we cannot give free education. How did Awolowo do it? It is the scholarship. That word, scholarship. It makes you come to be a scholar. That gives you opportunity to develop yourself, not loan to educate yourself. Most of these people will not pay the loans, and the loans will not be used for anything viable. So I think we should look at that point. It might be a political slogan, but that is where we are looking at. Our prof is directing. We have any questions to anybody directed apart from Molade now, who has to throw light on the issue of the question put there?
Yes, I have a note here, and it reads, we have agreed from the pre-summit that we need a constitutional reform. It is also fair to say responsibility is laid on all of us and work more inclusively for a new constitution. Now, this is the question. With the huge gap between grassroots constituents and their representatives in the federal and state parliaments, what hope is in us, is in there for us, for the implementation of any reforms that might come up in the future, since it is clear that it would go through legislative proceedings by some parliamentarians reaping from the constitutional ills. Now, when the proceeding was on, some statements were made, I think by 2 speakers. I can't remember the actual speaker that made those comments, but those are popular comments. They said, judiciary is said to be the hope of the common man, which of course I still believe it. And also that when you have a case, when a goat have a case, and that case is to be determined by the lion, of course you can understand the fate of that goat. That is the predicament this writer, this person that sent this question finds himself. But let me throw some more light to it. We are here to rejig an entire system, to rejig an entire constitutional system in Nigeria. We know that it's not going to be easy, but it is something that we need to stand up and get achieved. But I must tell you for free that today we have 360 members of House of Reps. We also have 109 senators. But it cannot be said, and it will not be fair to say that all of them are corrupt. We still have some good ones among them that must ensure that certain things are done in the right manner. Even in the judiciary, we still have the ones that are good, very good, that you can trust, and you make sure that you get justice for what you have done. The truth remains that, yes, a constitutional amendment, it is something that must go through the entire rank and file of the process that will lead to a constitutional amendment. And that the fact that some people benefit from it, which of course such people may want to put a clog in the wheel of the progress, is very sure. But we must, on our own, for solution now, we must on our own ensure that we push through and ensure that we get it. We've had similar circumstances before. When Prince Mike Popi was talking, and even when my Vice Chancellor was also talking, we talk about, made reference to the Federal Investor of Petroleum Resources, which was established in 2005.
And I do remember, and my Pope is aware too, that during that period of Obasanjo's second regime, there was a program, they call it Conference of Stakeholders of Niger Delta, which was normally held every month, every 3 months, and we always going to the villa at that time. And the pioneer vice chancellor was even appointed at that time, and Obasanjo announced the appointment, coupled with the registrar of PTI, the executive secretary of PTDF, and all of that, and also the secondary school at Okanekuku. Those were things that were done. Meaning that any good thing you see today, people have been making sacrifices to ensure that those things come to us. You look at some other things, for instance, look at the NDDC that we have today. People fought for it. People agitated. My copy was that I was reporting for JFM radio at that time. I was always following up before Ompadek, yes. That Ompadek was winding down. Ompadek was winding down. And the chairman that time was Lea Limoke, who was winding the Ompadek down that time. And then the Trump came up, coordinated by Mike Pope. That was when I knew Mike Pope. I know Mike Pope since way back 1999. I was reporting for JFM radio. I saw how much effort they put in and how NDDC bill became an act. It was not signed by the president. It was the National Assembly overrode the president to get it into law today that we are using. You see? So those are efforts I pull out. So we must not be deterred by people making corruption or something, but we must ensure that we fall. Just like our father said, that he's 80 plus, and then at his age, he's still here. And then our father, His Excellency, Emeka Anyoku, is also that 92, is standing strong and ensuring that Nigeria becomes a better place for all of us. So we have hope for this country. We must not lose hope at all. That is the advice I must give. And I must tell you for free that effort must be made at all costs. For instance, look at what is happening here today. People put all these ideas together, put all these things together, and fund this process for us to ensure that we get a better Nigeria. So Nigeria must be better for it. And
Thank you.
Whatever good thing we need to do, let's do it, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we please give them a round of applause? We are now winding down. We told you our think tank committee was collating and at the same time drafting. We've gotten some excerpts of the communique here, which has taken into recognition a consensus of opinion and a groundswell of presentation here, reflective of our positions. So we all agreed that the communique issued and taken from the pre-national summit on consultation of the future of Nigeria's constitutional democracy held at Monarchy Center under the umbrella of the eminent patriots, using the South-South Advocacy and Mobilization Committee as the arrowhead and anchor. Once again, we welcome our professor and indeed our esteemed elder here and the secretary, as well as acknowledge the host who is presently running the proceedings. We have a consensus of opinion that the 1999 Constitution contains several flaws, which necessitates its interrogation, amendment substantially, and also an overhaul, if not a new constitution, with opinion ranging from issues of revenue allocation. And we have agreed that the issue of revenue allocation should be revisited with special bias for those who produce the resources of this country. And also the representation of the federal constituencies, which has made some states produce higher numbers of representatives than the South-South, was also put into this communique. And indeed, the appointments of the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, the power to appoint should be removed from the executive and vested in a National Judicial Council or any other institution of credible meaning and pastoring. Yes, we have also looked at the issue of state creation and the issue of local government. That is the third sphere of government which is led exclusively for the states. And if they want to create as much as they can, so be it. That their composition, function, administration, structure, and finance should be left to the state. Under the 1999 Constitution, they gave it to the state to create local government council, but they cannot be included without amending the Constitution. So in any case, they become a church. That has been taken care of here by the Council of Opinion. And we are also of the view that the word "we" used in the Constitution is a misrepresentation of fact, and that at no time did we ever meet to have such a constitution. And the constitution must evolve from the people. And also that laws which do not empower and even support the people in equitable forms should be removed from our laws, like the Interpretation Act, which has defined land to exclude minerals. I think so far we have collated these views, and also we remember that for the purpose of the South-South, we have asked that our language be included in the conduct of business in the National Assembly, and that will bring us together. So this is a nutshell of what we have done in the communique. We want to thank everybody for participating. We have thanked our hosts and those eminent members of the Patriots. We're also going to thank our panelists. After thanking our royal fathers for staying all this while, we thank our panelists for production and very heartwarming and rendering discussions. Our audience, we say thank you very much, and we pray and hope God keeping us alive, that we will move to the south side of this. And also, remember, we will set up on that registry place where you can make further contributions if you so need to do. And the think tank committee, we want to thank you also. So at this point in time, we are going to call on the proficient professor, Kela, the Ogbu. He's taking it by the Ogbu. Is coming now to give us a final remark on behalf of the Advocacy and Mobilization Committee of the South-South under the umbrella of the Patriots. Please, guys, give me a round of applause.
Let's put our hands together for him, please.
Please.
Thank you, Leonard Senior.
Thank you very much. I was saying that there will be no need to speak after you because you have thanked everybody. Technically, I'm supposed to be here to say a very big thank you to everybody for their participation. But I think you have done a better job than me. It would be silly of me to try to contend words with you. Let me, however, say what we have done here today is a good example of how things should be done. And I say this because in my role as the national chairman of the Patriots Advocacy and Mobilization Committee, I deal with different zones, and I, be it virtually or physically. The spirit, the success of any venture lies a lot in the spirit of conception of the venture. It is very clear today that the attempt, a very clear and explicit attempt, has been made to allow different voices to contribute, allow people to deliberate, and I'm very pleased to see that the possibility of input continues after now. And that is a very good and important thing. The message from the Patriots remains the same. In terms of the Constitution, we believe that no matter what happens in Nigeria, if we do not get our Constitution right, we cannot get it right. We also believe that many of the problems we're having in Nigeria is actually due to the kind of Constitution. The Constitution of the future that the Patriot is working for is a Constitution that reflects the concern, the interest, and the aspiration of the people. It is also a Constitution that will make it easier to do good things and make it challenging, more difficult to do bad things. And I think where we are in this country today really is a place where good people are afraid, bad people are not afraid. And we need to change that. And to that extent, we shall continue to push. And I want to thank everybody and actually allow me, because I'm very hopeful about the outcome of this thing, allow me to congratulate everybody that has been part of it, because this is our chance of making history. Let me depart with one very simple thing. It is good. We have a tendency to complain about bad things, and I have nothing against that. I criticize them. But once in a while, when we see good things and good people, let us emphasize them. I'd like to call out for special mention all the organizers of today, but special recognition to Deacon Chris Iwoyeye, who has really put all this together. The ability to conceive and implement things is a very important feature of humanity. And when we see people who do things well, and with all the effort, we should commend them. Very big thank you to our esteemed panelists. Special thank you to the audience, to the students. I'll be sending messages to you, and to everybody that has participated. And thank you very much for taking time to join us. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let's put our hands together for Professor Killer. We also thank you for thanking us. Professor Killer, alias Ogbu, according to Dr. Minimini. That is your alias now. All right, with the kind permission of our panelists, particularly organizers, I've been mandated to call on Reverend Dr. Daniel Ebikems, who doubles as the treasurer, PFM Delta State Chapter, to please give us our closing prayers. May we rise as we pray, please. Thank you.
Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we want to thank you for all the proceedings today. Your word says in Mark 11:24, whatever we desire when we ask, as we believe you will do it. We ask, oh God, that all the deliberations, all the comments, contributions that have been made, be accepted as our prayers for our nation, Nigeria. I will pray that you answer these prayers in the name of Jesus, that we may have a better Nigeria. To you be all the honor and glory. Bless all the organizers of this program as they continue to move forward. Go ahead of them. Let this project succeed. Thank you, Father. We pray for our journey mercies back home. In Jesus' name we are prayed.
Amen. Safe journey home. Thank you very much. Sound engineer, please, a light on, light music as we depart the hall.